Meanwhile, the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, is said to have already submitted to the President a document detailing the economic implications of a decision for a lockdown. The Minister for Information, Kojo Oponkroma, who disclosed this, tells JoyNews government is now better able to weigh the course of any decision to impose restrictions on movement of people to check the further spread of the coronavirus infection.
The question of a lockdown is not a new suggestion.
Right.
As I've mentioned, in the last 3 weeks, the President, engaging the various stakeholders, receives briefs, subjects it to various analysis. The subject of some restrictions, if you even look at the bill that was passed in Parliament, it talks about restrictions. Yes, so the subject of restrictions and which level of restrictions will be optimal has always been on the table. It is on the table. Various scenario analysis come up, like it's been said. If you say you have a lockdown, how do people eat? How do people use sanitation services? How do people do all sorts of things? How does a lockdown potentially in Ghana compare to what it's in Europe, where you have a different address system and all sorts of things? So all of those analyses have been done. It is on the table. If it becomes necessary that any of those restrictions are imposed, His Excellency the President has demonstrated so far that this is a state matter. He takes it with all the level of seriousness, but listens to all the dimensions before arriving at a decision, and he will do well by the people of Ghana.
No, we understand that the President is engaging or has engaged the Finance Minister to look at the economic implication of a lockdown. I mean, how true is this?
About 2 weeks ago, the President instructed the Minister of Finance and the Ministry to prepare an economic analysis document on the various scenarios of being hit by COVID-19. Okay. That document has been around for a while now. It keeps being recalibrated depending on the numbers and the scenarios that are coming up. But we have clarity on what it may cost us in terms of growth, in terms of revenues, etc. And he has mentioned a bit of it even to Parliament. The other dimension is that some of the interventions that you want to introduce will have implications on sections of the population or sections of the economy. How do you mitigate it? Again, I do know that as at yesterday, the Minister responsible for finance and the economic management team had the opportunity to engage on some of those numbers. And most likely by Friday, he may have to come to Parliament. He may by Friday have to come to Parliament and explain if indeed government has decided to introduce some more economic measures beyond what has been done, what it means for the fiscal position, for growth and for everything else.